I'm Matt Gajtka. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday evening as Peters Township tries to defend home ice once again, their first home game of the new year, 2024, as they have gone on the road a couple of times here to start the month of January, winning in overtime at North Allegheny and then falling in overtime at Central Catholic 8 days ago. Yes, last time out, the Peters Township Indians, despite carrying a 2-1 lead into the third period at Alpha Ice Complex, they ended up dropping a 3-2 decision, as I mentioned, to the Vikings, who are below them in the standings currently in Class AAA. Caven Fisher and Zach Palmieri scored goals to stake the Indians to a 2-1 lead, but Judah Brophy tied the score halfway through the third period for the Vikes, and then Griffin Lewis won at just 14 seconds into the 3-on-3 overtime. So the overtime giveth in the case of the win against North Allegheny 2 weeks ago, when Joey Gajtka, the defenseman, scored the winner, and 3-on-3 overtime taketh away in the case of last week. In any case, Peters Township is happy to be back here at Printscape Arena, as the last time they played here was a great memory. They blew out Pine Richland 6-2. Also at home this season, they've beaten Cannon Mac 7-0. And they've taken care of Bethel Park, Central Catholic, and Mount Lebo on home ice as well. So PT has won 5 in a row at Printscape after an 0-2 start. That was rare to the home schedule. Overall, PT was 1-3. Then they reeled off 5 wins in a row, dropped a couple in early December, but then won before the break. And as I mentioned, 1-1 in the month of January. So PT now standing with a record of 8-4-2 on the season. They are in a serious traffic jam at the top of the standings, or near the top of the Class AAA standings. There are 6 teams, count them up: Mount Lebo, Pine Richland, Bethel Park, North Allegheny, Peters Township, and Upper St. Clair. 6 teams, all separated by just 2 points in the standings. PT technically right now tied for 5th, but with a win tonight in any form or fashion, regulation or overtime or a shootout, any kind of win would put them in solo second, behind only Seneca Valley, which continues to stretch its lead out, now 5 points atop the division. But PT can get into that second place spot with a win tonight. They've been paced this season, which hasn't been as explosive of an offensive season as we're used to seeing from Rick Tingle's team, but they're still scoring 3.5 goals per game. That's a healthy number. And Camden Martin, the senior forward, leads all of Class AAA in points, not just the team, with 27. Also 14 goals for Mr. Martin, who just continues to get better and better year after year. Those 14 goals have him tops in the class as well. And his fellow classmate, Drew Alexander, is 4th in the class in points with 19. So Martin and Alexander, the key figures up front. In goal, it's been mostly Kyle Thomas with a .910 save percentage, but also Ethan Williams has been quite good in part-time work. He's got a 3-0 record with a .937 save percentage. And in fact, Peters Township's team save percentage of .907 is second best in the class. So a lot of goaltending and some scoring from that top line especially. We've also seen defensemen get on the board for PT with some regularity, including Gajtka's overtime winner. He's got 2 goals and 5 points. Luca Maeda, converted forward, now playing D, has 3 goals and 9 total points. And he is tied for the team lead in goals from a defenseman, and all by himself atop the defensive scoring ranks in PT annals right now. Caven Fisher also has 3 goals from the blue line. So some offense from the blue line as well, maybe a little bit more than what we're used to seeing from Peters Township. So that's where we are with them. As for Baldwin, the Highlanders come into tonight's game trying to break a long losing streak. They have dropped 8 in a row, 6 of those in regulation. There you see the Highlanders decked out like the old L.A. Kings. In fact, the last time they won, the only time they won this season, was right here in this building on November the 7th. We had the broadcast here on 10 Band TV as they beat Cannon Mac 4-3. Other than that, they have lost in overtime to Cannon Mac, and they've lost in a shootout to first place Seneca Valley. That was a promising result, but Baldwin still stands with just 1 win on the season, 10 regulation losses, and 2 losses via a shootout or overtime. It's been crazy for the Highlanders because at midseason last year, 10 games in, they were 5-4-1, and they're 1-19-3 ever since. But it's not all doom and gloom for Baldwin. Of course, Tanner Plinta continues to be a stud on the offensive side for them. He's tied for 10th in Class AAA scoring with 16 points. And Logan Kramer is tied for second with Camden Martin of Peters Township with 8 power play points, including a team best 4 power play goals. The Baldwin power play has been fantastic this year, 29% conversion rate, but they've allowed the most goals in Class AAA at 5.5 per game, and their penalty kill is also dead last at 67%. So the Highlanders can score a little bit, but preventing goals has been the big issue for them. Just about set for the opening face-off for Baldwin and Peters Township. I mentioned PT trying to make it 6 wins in a row on home ice and trying to get back on the winning track overall. Just 6 games left for Peters Township. Looking on down the list, we've got them again next week on 10-Band TV when they take on Ken and Mac in the second and final matchup between the Printscape Arena rivals and co-tenants, if you will. Then 4 games in February, Upper St. Clair, at Bethel Park, Cathedral Prep here, and then at Seneca Valley to finish things up. But that's in the future. As for right now, we're ready to drop the puck at center ice, and here we go. Drew Alexander against Logan Kramer, and Alexander and the Indians have the first touch of the puck, but it's right back over to Kramer and the Highlanders for the dump in. Back there is Ethan Williams. I told you, he has a .937 save percentage and a 3-0 record on the season, so he gets another look at it here for Coach Rick Tingle's team. The Indians in white with the red helmets and red pants, and the Baldwin Highlanders in black and purple with some silver trim and the white helmets. Interesting look for them. Kramer picks it off. Kramer centers. Plinta's open. He shoots. Good save by Williams right off the hop. 34 seconds in. Outstanding opportunity for Baldwin, but Williams says, oh, no, you don't. Ethan Williams, in his 3rd varsity season, he's a junior. Got some action last year, too. Also in more of a part-time role as Kyle Thomas helped lead the team to the Penguins Cup Championship. But Thomas is a senior, so next year looking like it's going to be a lot of Ethan Williams in net. And also leaving room for newcomers, of course. Chipped up and out by Peters Township. And that'll be icing as chasing back for that, Joey O'Neill, but it was all for naught. The whistle was coming nonetheless. Austin Landowski is the netminder for Baldwin. He has an .866 save percentage and a 5.21 goals against average. Still in search of his first shutout of the season is Landowski, the junior. Scramble for the puck in the slot. Trevor Brain couldn't turn it over for a shot. Now Bryce O'Donnell parades back for Peters Township. From the right circle, chipped a shot, and it went wide into the far corner. I'm not sure if Landowski got a piece. We play 17-minute periods. We don't take a long break between the first and the second periods. Between the second and third, we've got a special treat for you. A representative from the James Deangelo Foundation will be talking to us about what they've got cooked up for 2024. Raising awareness for their cause and for the foundation itself. And thank you to Eric C. Martin, Peters Township team sponsor, for helping make this broadcast possible this evening. Todd Kazarowski and crew are on site. Wateska shoots and redirected just wide. Wateska looking for goal number 3 on the season, or at least an assist. Nearly got a bounce at the far side post. Turned over again. This is Gabe Hurley, 7 points on the year. Fed in the direction of Plinta. Drag move, dished it in behind the net. And there is Hurley again, wearing the number 29, usually a goalie's number. That's what we're used to seeing, but he's sporting it as a skater. He tries to center it here for Kramer. That's broken up, and taking it out of danger, Brady Holleran, but he couldn't chip it out of the zone. A little more than 2 minutes into this one. I'm Matt Gajtka on the broadcast for you, flying solo on the mic, that is, but it's never a solo effort here at 10-Band TV, as I mentioned. Logan Pack charges back to take this, but he can't flush it by Holleran on the far side wall. He'll try again, Will Pack. Shovels it far side, Plinta. Long shift for him. Little relay play onto Jeremy Pollard, but he lost control of the puck. Wateska, returning varsity man this year. Couldn't make anything happen in the middle. It'll be Mac Dempsey shooting in, pursuing his own dump. And Hudson Phillips for Peters Township lifts it off the rink and out of play. Over by the concrete on the far side, where those banners are hung, several of which belong to Peters Township. PT coming off of back-to-back Penguins Cup championships. And like I said, they can put themselves in really good position with a win tonight with just 5 games to play. They would be in second place solo with a win this evening. Jumping from 5th all the way up. 6 teams within 2 points as Williams shoves this puck away from his crease. Kicked at by Nate Buys out high, but nothing doing for the Highlanders. Here comes PT, and it's Alexander. He's got Martin going to the goal, but his pass eluded Martin's reach. That looked promising. PT has struck on the counter many a time this year. Wrist shot by Dempsey, missed the target. Banged out to center ice. Martin in pursuit for Peters Township, couldn't get there in time. D-to-D pass finds Jacob Schleeper playing in his 7th game of the year. On the head man, bounced toward the goal and scooped up by Landowski. No further play as Martin was trying to latch onto that biscuit. It looks like that's Luca Maeda playing up front in this game again. Maeda has played D a lot of the year. But here it's Paul Mary getting an opportunity on the face-off, and Tegan Berry controls for Baldwin. The Highlanders have lost 8 in a row, and I mentioned just the 1 win in the last season-plus equivalent. They're hungry, you know that. You don't want to give them a spark if you're Peters Township. I think the first several minutes of this game could tell a large portion of tonight's story. Turning away from traffic, Austin Corbel. A bounce pass out through to the neutral zone. And here comes Charlie Caputo, the senior. Caputo, good move. Forehand shot. Save made Landowski. And the rebound cleared out of there by James Williams. Not a lot of trouble there for Caputo to get behind the defense. Trying to get his 7th goal of the year. Here's Kramer. Centering. Plinta open. Scores. Tanner Plinta goes under the crossbar. And there is that early spark for Baldwin. Kramer to Baldwin. That's happened a few times this year. Or pardon me, Kramer to Plinta, I should say, for Baldwin. And that's 10 goals on the season for Tanner Plinta. And watch Kramer getting an Indian to wipe out in the corner, and then a beautiful pass coming right down the slot was the captain. Plinta absolutely buried it. So there you go, the Highlanders. Maybe with some belief here. And I mentioned PT had some troubles at home early this season, but not really since. They've had some routine wins. Most recently, Halloran offside. And we'll go back out to center ice. Pardon me, Halloran. Halloran, Ivancic, and Poon out there. And Halloran to take the draw against Hurley. No, that was Dempsey. Actually, cross rink, and Halloran just blasted it wide on the quick catch and release from the inner edge of the right circle. Ivancic, 4 goals on the year, fed it toward the net. That's patted away. There's the announcement on the goal. Plinta from Kramer. Backhanded through center ice, Jeremy Pollard. That's offside against Baldwin. Coming into the game, Baldwin averaging just a shade under 2.5 goals scored. PT, on the other hand, I said in the pregame, but I'll reiterate, they're scoring 3.5 per game. It's indicative of the expectations and the history of this program that 3.5 feels like a disappointment almost. But you know what? They've gone so many years where they're averaging well over 4, close to 5. It's just the reality of it. It's been a different kind of PT team, but they've been better defensively than a lot of squads have in Class AAA. They only allow 2.5 goals per game. So for Baldwin, if they can get to 3, that would be an accomplishment here tonight. They've already got 1, just a few minutes in. As Landowski, Austin Landowski, gloves this one along. He's a junior. He looks over his shoulder. Number 90 in net. Plinta. Soft tossed into the near corner. Driven around but not out. Kramer strong on the wall again, but he has his pocket picked there by Owen Lazaro, who dumps it down hard off the sideboards all the way for an icing. Out of town scoreboard tonight, we've got Central Catholic at Cathedral Prep up in Erie at 8:20. And then coming up Thursday, Seneca Valley, the first place team in Class AAA, at Mount Lebo, North Allegheny at Baldwin at the Ice Castle, and Upper St. Clair at Barrel to play Pine Ridgeland. Cleared up and out to the red line. Doubling back was Martin. Couldn't win the puck, though. It would be Dempsey. We'll see how the Highlanders play with the lead here. They haven't had a lot of opportunities to practice this during game action this year. Alexander taking a look. He's got Martin in front. Alexander turns and shoots off the outside of the goal frame. Maeda retrieves, and yes, indeed, he is playing forward today. Luca Maeda. He scored a lot of big goals and made a lot of big plays for PT over the years. So is this man, Alexander. Plucks it free off the Caven Fisher, who keeps it alive at the point. Alexander trying to saucer it across, didn't get any air under it, and it's intercepted by the Highlanders. Pollard, unable to chip it to anybody. Now he swats it off the stick, though, of Poon, and Caven Fisher has an avenue. Here he comes. Fisher's shot, and missed the net. Banged off the kick plate. Martin right toward the front, through the top of the crease. Nobody home in white. And it's Plinta, deliberately curling off the side wall. 9.5 to go in the period. Shot right in on Ethan Williams, who made the glove save. Tossed it forward. Here comes Alexander with a cutback move. Alexander to the front, and a deflection by Martin deflects high into the air and drops down into the near corner. Martin's on it again in the far side. Alexander stripped of the puck. Kramer with a strong move. And he punched it out through to center ice. Fed right back in by the Indians. And, well, it's going to be an icing against Baldwin, but it ended up right on the net, so Ethan Williams had to play it. And Plinta regroups. Plinta the only goal in this game. PT had an early chance by Charlie Caputo, but other than that, nothing really to preserve for posterity. Icing against Peters Township here. The last time these two teams met, PT pulled out a 4-1 win the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Caputo, Alexander, Martin, and Maeda, the goal scorers that night at the Ice Castle. Kenner Plinta, I guess who else, scored the only goal for Baldwin that night. But PT built a 2-0 lead on that occasion. This time they'll have to come back, even if it is just down 1. Tegan Berry with a dish pass, banged off the sidewall by Raphael Monahan, and back in the clutches of Berry. Feeds it forward, redirected through center ice. Monahan tried to drag it through, got some help there from Dempsey, who whipped a shot into the near corner. A little more than halfway through the first period. Thank you for joining us on 10 Band TV. Peters Township and Baldwin, no penalties yet in this game. Thrown toward the front. Paul Mary couldn't get a stick on it to deflect it. He was tied up by Berry. Monahan from the sideboards again. Stripped from behind, but the puck does drift out to center, courtesy of Camden Martin, but he did win the turnover. Caputo, unable to take that pass coming out of his own end from Wateska. Phillips, his defense partner, with Kramer all over him, makes a backhand feed that settles back in Baldwin real estate. Phillips bangs it hard, looking for Caputo. Plinta making a few men miss. Tyner Plinta cutting inside, couldn't get the shot away. Still loose. Here's Wateska jamming it up, and does it come out? It does not. Held by Kramer, off to Plinta, makes a move on his backhand, pass across, deflects to Kramer, and he's stopped by Williams. Big save there with just under 7 to go in the first period. Plinta was trying to go cross-rink with that over to Hurley. Instead, it bounced off a PT skate right to Kramer. Plinta couldn't have planned it any better, but Kramer could not beat Williams. He closed his pads together. Now James Williams out at the point for Baldwin. Jams it below the goal line to try to get the cycle game started. Kramer handing off. Plenta centering. Hurley couldn't turn it over for a backhand shot. Now Plenta again on the hard play behind. Owen Lazaro, number 74 in white. Look to shove it up the boards. It deflects right toward the middle, but right there in good defensive position is Poon. Poon had it poked off his stick, coming in over the Baldwin line. Plenta once more. He's had a lot of puck touches early on. That's good news for Baldwin. Turned over, though. Hollering wrister into the belly pad of Landowski. No further play. 6:15 left in the first. Peters Township won 5 in a row to overcome that 1-3 start. Not that we thought they were going to miss the playoffs, but it was looking like it was going to be a lot more interesting than maybe it's turning out here. Blast toward net. Williams headed that one off for Baldwin. Lazy pass toward the middle, though. Martin tries to intercept. Instead, the Highlanders do clear. Fed back into the attacking zone by Austin Corbel. Landowski touches it there on the give to Nate Buys. Cleared through Jeremy Pollard. Down it goes and right onto the stick of Dempsey, but the Highlanders are offside, I think. Brooklyn Joyce was ahead of the play. So Seneca Valley leads the class with a 12-3 record. No one else has double-digit wins. Mount Lebo at 19 points. 5 behind Seneca Valley. Pine Richland at 19. Bethel Park at 19. And NA and PT at 18. Mayetta, the cut move. Drop pass. Martin shot off the arm of Landowski. Playing well to start. Baldwin keeps that 1-0 lead. Pollard protecting the puck. Look at him go. And shooting off the glass. Fisher tried to cradle it. Instead, Pollard knocked him off the puck. Threw it in front, looking for Kramer breaking in, but tapped away from him at the last moment. Camden Martin dragged it through to the red line. Fisher for PT. Now Alexander backhand into traffic. Plenta has it in his skates. It's ripped out of there by Mayetta. Good play. I do like seeing Luca back up front. I think he's got the upside to make some plays for you. Turned over, but handed right back by Martin and the Indians. Over to Hurley, now far side, it's Kramer, Plenta, I should say. And Plenta couldn't get around the edge against Corbel. Fisher turning this way, turning that way. Hurley gums up the works for Baldwin. Plenta shooting from the sidewall, off the stick of Ethan Williams, and right to Martin, but he overskates it. Left it behind. Hurley, extended zone time here for Baldwin. He tried to make a backhand pass, but it ended up behind the net. Fisher had his stick lifted, but on the second attempt, he does clear. Caputo following on in the attack zone. Not to be. The Highlanders are back on it. Hurley with a jump play ahead. Williams leaves it there for Wateska. Back in the direction of Corbel. Couldn't get it. Pass was too firm. Hurley there at the side. Under 4 to go in the first. Quick moving period with no penalties. Very few whistles in general. O'Donnell. The soft flip. Palmieri trying to get on it for Peters Township. Couldn't quite make it. Plenta charges back. His backhand in behind the net. Caputo retrieves off the kick plate. But his pass intercepted. Dempsey, wraparound try, trying to get it in front there for Trevor Brain, and it never did find its intended target. Palmieri, good speed, taking a look, shooting off the near side post and out. Great opportunity. Zach Palmieri's got 3 on the year. Inches away from 4 and tying it up. But it did not fall. Wateska driving it ahead. Back there's Joey O'Neill. A lot of juniors and seniors on this Baldwin team. I think they expected better out of this season. It's going to take a serious push here late to get them back into playoff consideration. Anyway, more on that later as it's flipped toward the net by Ben Tracy in his 7th game. To the side of the goal, scores! Matthew Schubert has his first varsity goal, and Peters Township is tied at 1-1 with 2.5 to go in the first. Depth scoring for PT, just what they needed to get back into this one and turn the momentum back in their favor. So Schubert finishes it off from the near side just after Ben Tracy missed an opportunity to get his first varsity goal. So Tracy, I'd have to imagine, is going to get an assist. That will be his first point in a PT uniform, at this level at least. Unexpected contributors. Gotta love it if you're Peters Township. James Williams clears for Baldwin. So we are level 1-1. Gajtka directing it up ahead. A move by Alexander. Feeding on for Tracy, scores! 2-1 BT, pardon me, that's Maeda. Maeda out there with Alexander and Martin, and Luca Maeda roofs it with a beautiful shot from in close, his 4th goal of the season. 2 goals in under a minute. Peters Township's got its first lead of the night. Pardon, I just saw Tracy out there. I saw 44, and then I saw what looked to be 44 on the backside, but it was Maeda. Jamming it home off the pass from Alexander for Drew. That's his 11th assist of the year. As he slipped by the defending at the blue line and then had some time and some space with which to operate. Monahan wristing it in. Suddenly the Highlanders trailing. Seemingly just like that. And it's Alexander leading the rush. He's got Martin with him. And Phillips left it back there for Phillips, but it went between his skates. Out high, Gajtka shooting. Blocker saved by Landowski. Deflected over to the side wall. That's Monahan for Baldwin. Whips it down ice. That's icing against the visitors. 1:25 remaining before the break. There's the announcement, Maeda. They give a secondary assist to Joey Gajtka. The defenseman again gets into the act offensively. O'Neal lifts it up and out for Baldwin. So yes, a sudden change, and the script I thought this game would follow. Looks like we're back in range of that happening. But the Highlanders still gotta feel pretty good about the way they played this first period. This puck deflects into the Peters Township bench. 1 minute exactly to go. I suppose the saving grace for the Highlanders is if they can get it to the short intermission between the first and the second, they can feel pretty good about things, just trailing by 1. This line in particular has been buzzing for Baldwin. Plinta, Kramer, and Hurley. Kramer eventually controls after he took the draw. Dished it back to the point, and the shot's deflected over the high glass and into the netting. I've seen a lot of that from Peters Township over the years, where they score in bursts and take advantage of the natural momentum of the game. Palmieri on the clear. Out it goes. Final 3/4 of a minute. Palmieri's got to wait for his teammate Caputo to get back on side, and he does tag up, does Caputo. Palmieri sets sail into the left wing corner. Shot by Corbel, didn't get through. Right in front of the net was Caputo setting a screen, but it didn't matter as the shot was blocked. Hurley charging back in. Spinning to the outside, now a pass to the middle, and it's tipped away from Kramer. Logan Kramer, you can see why he's a goal scorer, because he knows where to go to try to get open for a pass, and he slides right into those prime scoring areas quickly, icing against Peters Township. Well, Baldwin will need actually quite the finish to get into the playoffs here because they're in 10th place out of 11 teams. They're 10 points back of Central Catholic, who holds the 8th and final playoff spot right now. So it would be kind of a run-the-table situation for Baldwin. They got to win their last, I think, 7 and just hope for some help. That's deflected off the ring. 10.9 to go in the first period. So realistically, you're talking about trying to build something for next year and the players who are returning. Realistically, the only playoff chase for the spot, the last spot, the 8th spot, is Central Catholic with 14 points against Erie Cathedral Prep with 11. Headman pass headed off at center ice by Buys, and that's it for the first period. So Quinta scores early, but then back-to-back goals. The first varsity goal by Matthew Scoobert, and quickly followed by Luca Maeda, pumping in his 4th of the season. Peters Township leads it 2-1 here from Printscape Arena at South Point. Keep it right here on 10 Band TV.
Hey there, hockey fans! You already know 10 Band TV can stream live regional sports. But did you know you can also stream the best of the local music scene as well? Music from the 412 is live and streaming 24/7 on 10 Band TV. Watch music videos, concerts, and original programming free from the comfort of your couch. Featuring the best of music and artists from Pittsburgh and Western PA. Tune in today.
Peters Township leads at 2-1 here on home ice tonight at Printscape Arena at South Point. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is 10 Band TV. The James Deangelo Foundation sponsors tonight's broadcast, and we're going to hear from a representative from the foundation, learn a little bit more about what they're up to in 2024, coming up between the second and the third periods. As for right now, some more hockey. PT striking back after trailing early 1-0 with back-to-back goals less than a minute apart by Scoobert, his first in a PT uniform, and Maeda, certainly not his first in a PT uniform. Here we are set for the second period with Peters Township attacking the goal down to our left. Camden Martin pulls the trigger. What a hot shot that was up high, and Landowski had to be sharp to make that save, or at least courageous to make that save. Dumped in just wide of the goal, Ethan Williams made a couple of strong saves after it was 1-0. I told you to remember those in case PT does come back. You never knew there was going to be a test after. Maeda centering and looking for Alexander, but it's deflected away from the net. Flipped in on goal, and there's Ethan Williams to hang on to it. And we'll take a face-off coming up in the PT zone. There's Caven Fisher lifting it high, and too high, it turns out, out of play. Dempsey at the dot against O'Donnell. O'Donnell and the Indians control it. Paul Mary with the backhand toss down in behind the Baldwin net. Back in the hands of Lazaro. From his stick over to Fisher. High flip. Here's Peters Township again. Out by the line. O'Donnell, Caputo, lines one up, another high drive off of the shoulder of Landowski. But right back to Brain. Try to pull the trigger on the whip move. Could not get it there. Now centered for Brain. It's beyond his reach. Held in at the line, though, by James Williams. There you see our rotating team sponsors at the bottom right of your screen. You can get involved as well and support your favorite team. Just go to 10band.tv. Centering play and banged wide of the goal. Now stuffed in front, score! Fisher had the initial chance, and I think that was guided in from below the goal line, off the goaltender and in. If that's the case, it's Caputo on the finishing end. Charlie Caputo from behind the net after Fisher misfired. Right here on the replay, there it is, the wraparound beauty. I'm not even sure it touched the pad of Landowski. 3-1 Peters Township, Caputo's 7th of the season. Having quite the senior year is Caputo. Ryan Walker pursuing for PT now. Couldn't quite get there, but did force the turnover out at center ice. This is a delayed offside. Walker doesn't realize it. He's got to hightail it out of the zone, tag up. 2 minutes into the period, PT's got the 3-1 lead. And the game materializing more like we thought it would. And still a long way to go, but when you have a team with 8 wins going up against a team with 1, then expectations happen, and I think sometimes as the team that's quote-unquote favored in that circumstance, you can maybe feel that pressure a little bit to come out here and perform, whereas Baldwin feels like the old proverbial nothing to lose scenario. Landowski freezes the puck. Your shots on goal from the first period was Peters 7 and Baldwin 6. You might have just heard the PA announce shots on goal 7-6 with Peters Township in the lead going into the second period. They've got at least 3 now. Another drive into the chest of Landowski. He holds on. That was Corbel getting it to goal. Corbel gets an assist on the Fisher goal. The Caputo goal. Freudian slip. Fisher should certainly get an assist on it as well, because his shot was what caused the havoc behind the net that led to Caputo being able to slip it by with a wraparound. The online box score was not working. Now it is catching up, actually. I lean on that pretty hard usually to give you some stats. Flipped into Williams' glove by the on-charging Pollard. No trouble there for Ethan Williams. Baldwin scored first, but since then PT has reasserted control in a big way. Our score graphic says 2-1. It is 3-1 PT. Caputo scoring early in this frame. Plenta with a backhand to the corner. Kramer coughed it up to Alexander. This is Camden Martin, the PT leading scorer, the leading scorer in all Class AAA, in fact. On the high flip, right back down toward the net and score! Maeda! Transition to perfection for Peters Township. Make it 4-1. Luca times 2. Well, it is football season. That was the fly pattern, wasn't it? From Martin all the way down through the air most of the way, and then Maeda caught up to it and in one motion swept it by Landowski, surprising the Baldwin netminder. Looks like Randy Moss downfield. Is that a dated reference for you? I can't help it. I'm a Marshall grad, so I always default to him when I think about great wideouts in that sport. I was just talking about Maeda's offensive upside. It's pretty spectacular there to catch up, shoot, and score without a second thought. Alexander calling for the puck at the attacking blue line. Sorry, we're stuck on the second camera right now. Here we go, back to live action. Kramer ran into Schleeper. Here's Martin stretching down with one knee on the ice, trying to tap it ahead, could not. This is Tanner Plinta, pinned to the wall by Hudson Phillips. Getting physical back there, 4.5 minutes into the second. But Plinta controls the puck, shoots up high on Williams, made the save, and Phillips clears the rebound to the sideboards. Floated near wing, Caputo takes it, feeds it across. And one of the Highlanders lost the stick, trying to defend against O'Donnell in the slot. Plinta will take it here, kicking it to his stick. Nubbed it far side. Fisher on a nifty turnaround move, protecting that puck in the direction of Caputo with that pass, but too far for his reach. It's icing against Peters Township. So PT gets 2 more here in the second, and they're cruising now. Caputo from Corbel and Fisher was the first goal here in this period, and then Maeda from Martin is the official scoring. No assist on that Matthew Scouvert goal. I'll have to go back and look at that one to make sure. I was pretty sure Ben Tracy should have gotten a helper on it. Walker trying to hold off Barry. And did for PT long enough to allow them to escape. And here is Tracy with the flip. Scouvert, and Walker's on it now. He dished over to Scouvert. He's got 1. Hey, why not go for 2? Left behind by Dempsey. Tracy again behind the net. Wanted to go over to Walker, but it's broken up. Joyce tries to flip it by the PT blue line. No sale. Gone right back down into Baldwin territory. Scouvert fields the floating puck. Fed it toward the front. Walker, and it's off the body of Landowski. Ryan Walker that close to his first varsity goal and point. One of the Indians was dumped there. That was Scouvert. He takes a shot back at whoever did it as play moves the other way. Here's Walker into the attacking zone. The Indians are onside. He shoots. Save made. Big, juicy rebound, but swatted away from Holleran. Kramer going between the legs of Lazaro, but could not keep that puck in a scoring position. A little too far on the D. Hurley, cross ring. Shot by Buys, and that's off the blocker of Williams. Hurley fields it and shoots it, but didn't get a lot on it. And Williams pounces to hold with 10:16 to go in the second. Peters Township's next game against Cannon Mac next Tuesday. We'll have that one for you right here on 10 Band TV. Cannon Mac, a couple points behind Baldwin in the standings. Baldwin's only win is against Cannon Mac, and Cannon Mac's only win is against Baldwin. Funny how that works. Although the Highlanders have picked up a couple of standings points by way of getting to overtime. Plinta off the post with that shot in a bid for the second goal of the night for him, and it would have been his 11th of the season. Just a smooth whip of the puck toward the top left corner, inches away, maybe less than an inch away. Plinta tries to fed the pass across. It bounces off a stick over to Hurley. Holleran yanks it off the boards, but coughed it up. Williams dished in behind the goal. There's Holleran. Good work rate from him. But a little too much gusto on that exit pass. Icing again against Peters Township. It's time to start thinking about playoff positioning for PT. If they can take care of business tonight and next week, it'll put them in a great spot before they have to host Upper St. Clair on February the 6th, and we'll have that game too. So we have 3 straight Tuesday night Peters games for you on 10 Band TV. Dempsey was stopped from the slot, didn't get a lot on that shot. Big drive coming here from Buys, and it's over the bar. Nate buys 4 goals on the season from the blue line. You can see why with that howitzer of a shot he just let go. But that one missed the target. Schleeper on the headman. Maeda looking for the hat trick. Turns to the outside, though. He's going to look for a pass now as he does locate his line mate. Maeda, 1 shot and 2, and he's stopped twice. Boy, that went from a nothing play to something, to be sure. Maeda with the first opportunity, and then Landowski burped it right back up to him. The second save was better than the first. The glove stop from Austin Landowski to keep Maeda off the board and to keep Peters with just the 3-goal lead. So Martin, with that quick pass in front, caught the Highlanders off guard. Schleeper out by the blue line. He turned it over. And the Highlanders iced this one. About halfway through this game, PT with a 4-1 advantage. Alexander again gets the assignment against Logan Kramer of Baldwin. Alexander drew it back cleanly, and eventually it looks like PT is going to take control here. Alexander does find Maeda, over to Martin, waiting, feeding Alexander. A great save, Landowski from point-blank range. Landowski getting some confidence back with a pair of sharp stops midway through the second. He's got another year left. That's Austin Landowski. Anthony Herman is the backup, but he hasn't seen any action yet this year. He's a freshman. Martin, open shot. No, it's going to be a penalty. Penalty called against Peters Township as Monahan was felled in the left face-off circle. We'll take a second look at it here. Martin colliding with Monahan. Honestly, it was just 2 players running into each other and Martin being stronger on his skates, but it ends up what I think will be called interference. I have to imagine that would be the call. Big tip of the cap to the audio staff at the arena. I can hear the PA announcements clear as a bell tonight. It's beautiful. Plenta shot. It was deflected, and Williams made the save nonetheless. No further play. Kramer against Palmieri. 7 against 7 in the face-off circle. And one of the Indians was wiped out behind the net. That's a penalty back the other way against Baldwin. We're going to 4-on-4, and Owen Lazaro raises his arms in mock triumph behind the net. First penalty of the night against the visitors. We went the entire first period and halfway through the second without a penalty, and now we get 2 in the span of, what, 20 seconds, maybe even 10? About 20 seconds, it turns out being. So now we face it off, back down to our left, in a 4-on-4 situation for nearly a full 2 minutes. Turning is Alexander, couldn't sweep it on net, and the net is dislodged. We have come to a grinding halt at this point of the game. That had to have been one of our fastest first periods of the season. So I guess we were due for a few more stoppages in the second. Nifty play by Alexander, but no one home on the backside after he just blindly sent that backhand pass through. Here's Hurley, and he was offside at the line. Alexander against Hurley. And Alexander controls for Peters Township. Corbel goes cross rink. Alexander at center red. Taking a look from behind the goal. Just deliberately slowing the pace down, and you can at 4-on-4. That's the luxury of it. A little more space. But he's dispossessed from behind by Hurley. Now Hurley taps it forward. Plinta takes it neatly from under his skates. But skated himself into a disadvantageous shooting position there, and he ends up being pinned against the wall by Gajtka. Caputo trying to reach in to take it away. Caputo goes all the way across, and once again, Alexander leads the rush. And it's a deliberate rush again for Drew Alexander. Taking some of the air out of that puck. Makes sense with the 4-1 lead. Plinta cutting into the middle, or tried to, but lost control of the puck. Good play by Gajtka. Gajtka and Corbel chasing Plinta. Plinta tries to feed it backdoor. Onto the tape of Williams. He goes all the way across rink with that, and it deflects through to center ice. Logan Pack turned it over. Martin centering. Maeda for the hat trick. He tried to pass it instead, looking for Holleran, and I think it clanged off of Holleran's skates and right to the netminder, Landowski, who holds on. We'll take a look at that replay. Maeda, actually, you know what? I think that just went right off the pad of Landowski. Brady Holleran leans in for PT. Palmieri tried to help out, and Palmieri does eventually get control, but not before the puck squirts out to center. Buys fed it over. Holleran takes control. Good pass back. Palmieri stubbed the one-timer, though. Dempsey against Maeda is a good battle. Dempsey cleared it off the skate of Holleran. Maeda here with Holleran and Palmieri. Palmieri tried to lift the stick of the D-man Barry, and he did. Maeda twisting and turning and leaving it back in behind with 5.25 minutes to go in the second period. Holleran's turning shot deflected high off the glass, off the stick of Landowski, and down it goes, slammed there by the Highlanders. Kramer. Too much air under that pass. It'll be Logan Pack settling right in front of his own goal, pursued by a couple of Peters Township forward checkers. Walker lifted it toward the front. Now Walker again. Open man, Schubert. And he couldn't get the shot under the pad of Landowski. It's still free at the top of the crease. It's under one of the Highlanders. He's got to watch out if they cover it there intentionally with a hand. That's a penalty shot. I mean, if Pack does, not if the goaltender does, obviously. The whistle does sound with 4:28 to go in the second period. Matthew Schubert that close to his second goal of the night, second goal of his varsity career. Schubert pursuing. He stays hungry. Through center ice, Hurley. Gabe Hurley. 2 goals, 7 total points on the season. Couldn't take the pass back from Plinta. Fisher on the give, and Walker guides it ahead for Peters Township. 4 minutes to go in the second. Plinta bunts it to the middle to what he thought was open space, but Walker was right there, and Ryan Walker makes the play. Fisher driving right through. They give him some space. He takes it, and his shot's off the blocker hand of Landowski. Lazaro holds, shoots. Landowski a pad stop this time. 4 consecutive goals by Peters Township after an early Baldwin lead. Plinta battling against Caputo in front, and Caputo tried to lift the stick to no avail. Kramer pushes the stick of Caputo away, and he couldn't get the shot off, could Kramer, from the inner edge of the left circle. Getting close to 3 minutes to go in the second period. Push up the near wing. Caputo takes the turnover there, working against Tegan Berry in the corner. Ivancic follows on. Sped it across. Shot by Wateska, and right into the stick of Landowski, and he keeps in his glove. Again, coming up at the second intermission, we'll have an interview with a representative from the James Deangelo Foundation. There you see his image up on your screen right next to our scoreboard graphic. Familiar number 55, Deangelo tragically passing away from an electric shock suffered in an incident, a natural body of water. It's part of the reason for the establishment of the foundation, to raise awareness for the possibility of that sort of thing. Corbel with the shot, deflected by Caputo, but offline. Williams for Baldwin. Couldn't escape with the puck. Instead, Pollard will try, and he's got the reach to protect it, but not for long, as O'Donnell swatted it away. From the far wing side, Mac Dempsey. He's been active tonight, but his wrist shot was partially blocked to the end wall. Icing this time against Peters Township. Other games coming up in short order in Class AAA. Bethel Park will be at North Allegheny next Monday. I mentioned PT at Cannon Mac. Well, PT versus Cannon Mac here. Cannon Mac, the home team designated. And Pine Richland at Cathedral Prep next week. PR, Pine Richland, one of the many teams jammed up in that spot. Second and fifth place, separated by just 3 points, or pardon, 2 points at the moment. Maeda tapped it behind the goal after a near miss for Baldwin. Maeda yanked it free. Hurley has it for Baldwin. Tried to lead Plinta through the neutral zone. Didn't work. Now Plinta, well, he couldn't get a stick on this pass from Kramer either, and Plinta throws his head back in frustration. 1:21 left in the second, and it's icing again against the Highlanders. Each team is technically at a power play in this game, but they each lasted 11 seconds. We had overlapping penalties about midway through this period, and that's been it. Otherwise, pretty clean game. Peters Township up to 25 shots on goal. Baldwin just 12. Baldwin scored on its second shot attempt. Plinta rifling it high into the net, converting Kramer's centering pass. And here's Plinta again, trying to repeat history with his pass in front. Schleeper clears it away. Maeda's got Alexander with him on the rush. Maeda shot it, and off the body of Landowski and down into his pads somehow. Alexander can't believe his luck. He thought he'd have some sort of a rebound to work with. I guess not. The puck just disappeared into that all-black equipment of Austin Landowski. Maeda's got 2 already. That was his chance. Another chance for a hat trick. Would be his first of the season. He came in with just 3 goals on the year, playing up front again, though. He's been playing D a lot of the year. Like I said, I just love him up front. If you can do it. If you have the bodies on the blue line, which I think was part of the issue earlier in the year for Rick Tingle and his coaching staff. Down to a half minute to go in the second period. Peters Township's got 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Can they add on more here, or can Baldwin strike back? It'll be Pack feeding it up the wall. Poon tapped it down the boards. And now Holleran shot from a sharp angle. And Landowski absorbs and keeps. Just under 15 seconds remaining before the real intermission here in PIHL hockey between the second and third periods. Kramer and Holleran match glares. Holleran wins the puck. Over to Caputo. Back to the point. Fisher shot save. Rebound Holleran, and he backhanded it into the corner. Poon centering with 5 seconds. Picked off. Ripped off the side window, and Lazaro kept it alive for a brief moment, but Holleran and Poon couldn't make anything happen from it before the buzzer sounded. 2 goals here in the second period for PT. Very early on, Caputo at 1:48 from Corbel and Fisher, and then Maeda, his second of the game at 3:19 with an assist to Camden Martin. Coming up, we'll have that interview with the rep from the James Deangelo Foundation. Keep it right here on 10 Band TV.
Hey there, hockey fans! You already know 10 Band TV can stream live regional sports. But did you know you can also stream the best of the local music scene as well? Music from the 412 is live and streaming 24/7 on 10 Band TV. Watch music videos, concerts, and original programming free from the comfort of your couch. Featuring the best of music and artists from Pittsburgh and Western PA. Tune in today.
Shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart. Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
2 jumbo ice caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino, extra caramel.
That's us.
I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
For over 20 years, groups, families, and individuals have been saving money with the Avia Dental Plan.
For as little as $9.25 a month, members can save up to 50% or more on dental care.
Plus, everyone qualifies, and there is no waiting or limits on visits to the dentist.
Start saving today with the Avia Dental Plans.
Go to getlowcostdental.com or call 1-888-431-2273. Smile. You're with people who care.
2 jumbo ice caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino, extra caramel.
That's us.
I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Hey, I'm Tyler Kennedy, 2009 Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup champion here, and trust me, I know what it's like to play to the max. That's why I recommend the patented heads-up sports training system, improving reaction time and your spatial awareness with this dynamic training system all at your fingertips. Train smarter with endless applications for any position. It's that simple. HeadsUpSTS.com. Play with your head up.
On the secret, get into a colder beer.
All in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
Hey there, hockey fans! You already know 10-Band TV can stream live regional sports. But did you know you can also stream the best of the local music scene as well? Music from the 412 is live and streaming 24/7 on 10-Band TV. Watch music videos, concerts, and original programming free from the comfort of your couch. Featuring the best of music and artists from Pittsburgh and Western PA. Tune in today.
Shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
2 jumbo ice caramel drizzle peppermint mochaccino, extra caramel.
That's us. I'd love to join you guys at the beach house for a few days, but between my job and the kids, it's just not that easy. Not to mention, how am I squeezing into a bikini after this winter?
Keeping off extra pounds while balancing a family and a career can be tough. And 500-calorie coffees won't get you there either. Weight Loss Direct provides a 24/7 support and one-on-one coaching to keep you on track and guarantee you success and health. Start your journey at weightlossdirect.com.
For over 20 years,
To get behind the defense. Trying to get his 7th goal of the year. Here's Kramer centering. Plinta open, scores! Tanner Plinta goes under the crossbar. On that later as it's flipped toward the net by Ben Tracy in his 7th game. To the side of the goal, scores! Matthews on that later as it's flipped toward the net by Ben Tracy in his 7th game. To the side of the goal, scores! Matthews go. Let's go to 10band.tv. Centering play and banged wide of the goal. Now stuffed in front, score! Fisher had the initial chance and IIAA, in fact. On the high flip, right back down toward the net and score! Maeda! Transition to perfection for Peters Township. Down into Baldwin territory. Scoobert fields the floating puck. Fed it toward the front, Walker, and it's off the body of Landowski. Right against Baldwin. Funny how that works. Although the Highlanders have picked up a couple of standings points by way of getting to overtime. Plinta off the post with that shot. Left. That's Austin Landowski. Anthony Herman is the backup, but he hasn't seen any action yet this year. He's a freshman. Martin, open shot. No, it's going to be a penalty. Logan Pack. Turned it over. Martin, centering. Maeda for the hat trick. He tried to pass it. Walker lifted it toward the front. Now Walker again. Open man, Scoobert. And he couldn't get the shot.
Hey there, hockey fans! You already know 10-Band TV can stream live regional sports. But did you know you can also stream the best of the local music scene as well? Music from the 412 is live and streaming 24/7 on 10-Band TV. Watch music videos, concerts, and original programming free from the comfort of your couch. Featuring the best of music and artists from Pittsburgh and
All right. Yo. Hi, folks. I don't get to talk very often, but Matt is away tonight, and Matt Popchalk's not here, so I'm here with Mr. Hilzadega, who's here to talk to us a little bit about the James Deangelo Foundation. So, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So the James Deangelo Foundation was started after our friend James Deangelo tragically passed away from electronic shock drowning. And
terrible.
Yeah, it was very terrible. And a lot of people don't know about this tragedy, and that's why they call it a silent killer. It's when there's actually an electronic shock running through any body of water that has electrical currents nearby. And what happens is those currents run through the water and create a charge. So if somebody jumps into the water, they can actually get shocked by that. And that's unfortunately what happened to our friend James.
Yep. Terrible. Well, tell me a little bit about what you've done since then. What's the foundation all about?
Sure. So, yeah, obviously we created the foundation in honor of James. And the main missions of that foundation are to honor his legacy. And in addition to that, we want to obviously raise awareness for how he died, which was ESD, electronic shock drowning. So we've been promoting a lot of initiatives and working really hard on that front.
Great, great. So what's coming up? What are some of the initiatives and what are the events? And
the biggest thing is the golf outing. It's June 14th this year at Quicksilver Golf Club. So that's where we do most of our fundraising for the foundation. And then we're also working on a few other initiatives, such as actually working with the senator in Pennsylvania to work on passing legislation that would help educate boaters and anybody that gets a boating license on ESD.
Yeah.
In hopes of preventing this from happening.
We talk
in the
about it
future.
a lot. My family and I go boating quite a bit, and
Yeah.
My son knew James pretty well, and it's been a conversation every time we're at the dock and by the boat. So it's an important thing, and it's certainly something a lot of us never would have thought about before.
Yeah, it's just that we need to raise awareness and education for it. That's all. I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, it's great for what you guys are doing. Now, can people get involved before then, or can they donate?
Yeah,
what's
absolutely.
What's happening there?
So our website is jamesdeangelo.weebly.com.
Okay.
And on that website, you can actually make a donation to the foundation. And that website also hosts our golf outing. So you can sign up for the golf outing. And you can also, like I said, donate on the website as well. So.
Sounds good. Well, it was nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to getting involved in the whole foundation as well. 10-Band TV, we're looking to get involved as well. So thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
Thanks. Back to the game.
I don't have audio. I don't know it's not coming through.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Let me fix this. I'll talk to you in a second. We don't have any audio.
Five to one, Peters Township. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is 10 Band TV. Sorry for the technical concerns we have here, getting things back to square one after the second intermission. Shot toward the net by Scoobert, falling away from the goal. Patted out by Landowski. Shoveled ahead by Monahan, couldn't get it through, and ripped right to the net from the point by Trevor Brain, and an easy save for Ethan Williams. So there you go. We are back online. Luca Maeda has scored his hat-trick goal early in this third period. Just 13 seconds in, he caught us all off guard. Luca Maeda, though, making a truth teller out of me when I said I love seeing him back up front. He's certainly cashing in that opportunity here with his first hat-trick of the season, doubling his goal total for the year in the span of just over 2 periods of play. And here he is again, circling and centering, looking for Martin, and it's out of his reach. Iced by Baldwin, so looks like the Highlanders are going to drop their 9th in a row here. And 7 of those 9 losses coming in regulation time. And they're going to have a 1-20-3 record if they lose tonight. since midseason last year, since the calendar page turned over to 2023. It's been a rough go, a full year and then some now for head coach Justin Glock and his Highlanders, who made the jump up to AAA a couple of years ago. They're pretty competitive right away. Last year starting 5-4, shot by Hurley, and a pad save by Williams down in the butterfly. They were competitive the first season. Last year, like I mentioned, right there in the mix. Just slightly over 500. Martin gets crushed on the sideboards by Plinta. Right toward the front of the net. Miami turned it in front. Alexander chopped it off a Baldwin stick and out of play. This top line suddenly threatening to put in a fourth goal this evening. 13:05 left in the third period. PT's back at it on 10-band TV here at Printscape against Ken and Mac. Where else would it be against Ken and Mac? Next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Phillips shot, and Palmieri rather, stopped by Landowski one more time. So Coach Glock sticking with Landowski. Hasn't given his freshman Anthony Herman any action this year. Caputo looking to fish that out of the skates of Buys for Baldwin. Unable to do so. Guided ahead, Caven Fisher. He has an assist tonight. Fisher saucers it off the near side boards, and here's O'Donnell pulling it off the wood. Over to Corbel. The backhand toss ends up behind the net. Pollard right toward the middle in his own end, but fortunately for him, there was a friendly right there. Buys bumped into the boards. That jarred the puck loose. Palmieri connects on to Caputo. He sets sail. Charlie Caputo to the backhand. Couldn't get the shot off. Pollard driving wide. Bumped by Fisher. O'Donnell couldn't get it through the stick of Logan Kramer, who set up Plinta's goal very early on. Baldwin had a 1-0 lead in this game in the first period. Caputo looking to split the D. Couldn't pull it off, but now Holleran with the pick-off at center ice. His jersey flapping in the breeze. Dished it into the attacking zone. Tried to skate in after it, but he and Caputo could not regain possession. Over to the far wing side. And Corbel up and out. Back behind the net, Williams inadvertently dragged it in front. Boy, I'm still dealing with the heebie-jeebies from last night when the Penguins scored the own goal in front of their empty net. Of course, no goal in hockey is an own goal technically. That's more of a soccer term, but you know what I mean. Holleran with a shot as he pulled the trigger from the left circle. Stop made by Landowski. And Ivancic drifts one wide. May have been deflected. Poon on it here. Ivancic tagging in as well. Schleepers drives it, and it's along the ice and wide. He was interrupted by Hurley when he looked to strike the puck. Hurley jumps up, couldn't flag it down with the glove. That's icing against Baldwin. Got to get back to last night if we have to. First time I've seen something like that close to the net. A lot of times when you see goals go into empty nets with the goaltender pulled due to a delayed penalty situation, or even late in the game when you're trying to tie it with the extra attacker, usually it's a missed pass in the offensive zone that ends up going back past the point and all the way down and in. Only a couple times have I seen it actually where the team is just that careless in front of their own empty goal. Hopefully that's rock bottom for the Pens, and it's only upwards from there. But enough sad news. Let's get back to the action here. 5-1 Peters Township with 10.5 to go in the third period. Suppose if you're a Baldwin fan, this is sad news here too, and well, we're just happy to bring you some Highlanders games. We did broadcast the Highlanders' only win of the season against Ken and Mac on November the 11th. I had the call here, 4-3 win Baldwin has also gone to overtime a couple of times. They went to OT and a shootout against Seneca Valley, the top team in the class right now, by 5 points. Scouvert, a drive, blocked by Buys. One back to the line and out by Brain. Schleeper sends it behind the goal. Strange bounce off the corner boards. Fooled Landowski, but fortunately for him, there was reinforcements right around. Tegan Perry playing it out. Oh, inadvertent shot on net from Joey O'Neill on his own netminder. He's trying to clear that pass, and he ended up directing it online. Speaking of own goals, we almost had one. Now that we have seen a lot at all levels of hockey. The D has the best of intentions, but they end up just angling their stick in the absolute wrong way. Cleared off the window and out by Peters Township. Here they come, 2-on-1. Maeda, near side, Alexander back to Maeda for a fourth, and he couldn't jam it by Landowski. Still loose, and the Highlanders skate out of there with it. Plenta, 1-on-3. Chip play to the corner, couldn't get there in time, away from Camden Martin, who swooped in to save the day. Alexander the one-touch. Maeda again drifting toward goal. Now to the backhand. Maeda tried to, I think, center that to Alexander, but it was picked off. Halfway through the third period, PT's top line again buzzing, creating, doing all the things you want him to do. Except this time, the puck did not go in the net. Blasted in hard by Peters Township. Trying for win number 9 on the season. This team started 1-3 and about to be 9-4-2. Just the one regulation loss since the month of October. Plenta to the outside. Oh, he just missed, going short side, top shelf against Williams, but the puck ends up off the glass and out to center. Parading back, Wateska. He's pinned to the wall by Logan Kramer. Wateska wedged off it briefly by Kramer and Plenta, but Alexander helps out. Here's Camden Martin. Plenta breaking back, dropped it. Hurley whips the shot, and that's deflected off the high glass and punched out to center by Peters Township. PT's only regulation loss since October, the 24th, was their the last of that 3-game losing streak. The only regulation loss since then, December 14th at Mount Lebo, 5-3. Other than that, even their losses have produced points. 4-3 shootout loss at Erie Cathedral Prep. And just last week, Monday, a 3-2 overtime defeat to Central Catholic. Pollard commands it. Brain relaying. Dempsey shooting, it's blocked. Pollard again toward the net. Again, it's blocked. This time by Joey Wateska. He deflected it over to the far side. O'Donnell. Caputo over to Palmieri with 6.5 to go in the third period. Wateska with his head up. Rims it around. Palmieri pulls it off the yellow kick plate. Tried the handoff move to Caputo. Caputo now has to pin Buys to try to keep the puck alive. Couldn't quite pull it off. Speeding ahead, Pollard, oh my, went far side with that shot, nearly finding netting. Good idea. Couldn't quite execute. Would have taken a perfect shot from that angle with Williams out. Above his crease, turned over, Caputo, backhand save, Landowski. And what's the whistle for? I think the net's off its moorings. Yes, it is. So Landowski, he's given up 5 tonight. He's also taken about 3 or 4 away from Peters Township, too. Williams tried to clear, couldn't do it. Plinta. Another nice move. Tanner Plinta tried to shoot it low that time and beat Williams, but unable to find the space between the pad and the post. Tracy slapping, half slapper, gobbled up by Austin Landowski. Fisher takes the shot. Again, Landowski hangs on to it. So for Baldwin, if you're looking for something here at the end of the season, they've already played Cannon Mac twice. Like I mentioned, they have beaten them, and then they've also gone to overtime against them. But if you're looking for, say, winnable games, you've got another matchup against Cathedral Prep on February the 8th. Plinta fans on the shot. Cathedral Prep in 9th place in the standings right now. And there they go. The Highlanders have another goal, and it's Kramer. So they keep on working, and one falls for him. Logan Kramer finishes the job for his 8th of the season, and it's 5-2 with 4:45 left in the third period. Scrambly play in the Peters Township zone, and Plinta just did a wonderful job to poke it over to Hurley, backside, Kramer, and up under the bar. Just as tidy as you like from Logan Kramer. He has a goal and an assist tonight. Plinta's got a couple of points as well, as does Gabe Hurley. So that top line did its job this evening. They get to 2 goals. All by themselves, basically. In front, Ivancic is stopped on the one-timer. I don't think he got all of it, did Ivancic, but he got enough. Landowski pressed the pad to the ice to keep it out. So it ends up being an early goal and a late goal for Baldwin, and that's probably going to be it. I shouldn't speak too soon, but that's probably going to be it as far as consequential action in this one, as we're down under 4 minutes in a 3-goal game. Other home games for the Highlanders coming up. North Allegheny, I mentioned that on Thursday. And actually, it's a tough stretch at the end of the year for Baldwin. They have 4 of their final 6 on the road. Although when they play at Upper St. Clair, that's, of course, at the Ice Castle, which they know as their home. That's the day after Valentine's Day, February the 15th. And we're going to face it off in the Baldwin zone. 9 o'clock starts coming up for Baldwin, too. 5 of their last 6 at 9 o'clock. Not great for getting to class the next morning and feeling all bright-eyed and ready to go. Palmieri controls the draw. Caputo to Wateska. Shot through traffic, bouncing around, and Caputo nearly poached one, but it's poked away from him at the last second. Hurley to Kramer in the middle, but swatted out of his reach. Williams spinning, taps it ahead, but couldn't connect with Hurley. Back into Baldwin territory. This shoot-in was deflected, so no icing against the Highlanders. Plinta. Hurley looked to shoot quickly. Wateska did a fine job to get stick on puck. Hurley turns it back against the grain. And it'll be Pack shooting into a pack appropriately, but blocked down. And Palmieri sends Caputo up ahead on a partial break. Took the shot. Pack did a nice job to return to the scoring area and get a stick on that drive from Charlie Caputo. Caputo couldn't flag this one down. High in the air. Caputo has a goal tonight. O'Donnell centering. Good pass to Palmieri, but he overskated as he tried to shoot. He whiffed, and then he fell down. Plinta one more time with 2:15 to go in the third, and the game most likely. Hurley from the corner boards. Gabe Hurley shoots into the glove of Ethan Williams, and he keeps for the stoppage. you joined us late, Matthew Scouvert scored his first varsity goal to get Peters Township going. That was late in the first period, and then just 26 seconds later, Luca Maeda scored his first of 3 on the night. PT took a 2-1 lead late in the first. They added 2 more early in the second, Caputo and Maeda again. And then Maeda, 13 seconds into the third to make it 5-1. Logan Kramer scored a few minutes ago to cut the lead to 5-2. So it was Kramer for Baldwin here in the third and back in the first, 4.5 minutes into it. Tanner Plenta gave the Highlanders a 1-0 lead. Between those goals, though, pretty much all Peters Township. They're out shooting Baldwin now 39-18. Very well-earned result for PT. And it'll be their 6th in a row on home ice. They'll improve to 2-1 in the new year. And they'll move into second place all by themselves in Class AAA. Tracy ridden off into the boards. I think Tracy's going to end up with an assist on the Scouvert goal. Scouvert shoots from the corner here, trying to surprise Landowski. Didn't work, but it did handcuff Landowski. Down to a minute to go in the game. Scouvert from behind the net. He and Tracy collide back there. Scouvert then throws his arms up as if to say, I'm innocent, I didn't do anything. And he didn't. Dempsey rifling in. 50 seconds left. Headman delivery by Fisher, deflected into the Baldwin zone. On near side, Aiden Gannon gets a touch here. Gannon, the junior. Up to Plenta, bumps into a PT defender, and the puck is extracted, much to Plenta's dismay. Joey O'Neill clears it around and out. Plenta waiting for it on the far side boards. He's a smart hockey player, knows where to go to get those pucks and to get those rush chances. Left it back, a shot from Kramer that's blocked. Kramer again kicked it along from under himself all the way over to the near side. Now Palmieri with 5 seconds. The pass to Caputo. One last shot attempt. It goes high and wide. The buzzer sounds. Indians win. Indians win 5-2. PT's won 6 in a row here at Printscape. Peters Township moves into second place all by itself with its 9th victory. That's 20 total points in the standings. Luca Maeda scores a hat trick, his first hat trick of the season, doubling his goal total on the year. Camden Martin picks up a couple of more points. Matthew Scouvert scores his first varsity goal, and Charlie Caputo connects as well. PT scores 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. The top line for Baldwin of Tanner Plenta, Logan Kramer, and Gabe Hurley each convert a goal in each the first and third periods. So they come through with 2 tallies, but too much PT, just overwhelming. They outshoot Baldwin 40-18. Baldwin has now lost 9 in a row, 7 of those in regulation. They remain in 10th place in the standings as we head on to further action later this week. Like I said, later in Class AAA, we've got Central Catholic at Cathedral Prep tonight. Also, Seneca Valley at Mount Lebo, North Allegheny at Baldwin on Thursday. That's the Highlanders' next action. And next week, we've got Peters Township facing Cannon Mac. That'll be our next game from Printscape. Next Tuesday, same time, same day, same place, right here on 10 Band TV as the rivalry will be renewed. But as for tonight, Peters Township wins it 5-2. They've got 9 victories on the year as they move into the final quarter of the PIHL regular season officially. For Todd Kazarowski and crew on site working hard as always, I'm Matt Gajtka saying good night, God bless, and I'll talk to you next time on 10 Band TV for High School Hockey Night Live. To get behind the defense. Trying to get his 7th goal of the year. Here's Kramer centering. Plinta open, scores. Tanner Plinta goes under the crossbar. On that later as it's flipped toward the net by Ben Tracy in his 7th game. To the side of the goal, scores. Matthews on that later as it's flipped toward the net by Ben Tracy in his 7th game. To the side of the goal, scores. Matthews scoop. Go to 10band.tv, centering play, and banged wide of the goal. Now stuffed in front, score! Fisher had the initial chance, and AAA, in fact, on the high flip, right back down toward the net and score! Maeda! Transition to perfection for Peters Township. Down into Baldwin territory. Scoover fields the floating puck. Fed it toward the front, Walker, and it's off the body of Landowski, right against Baldwin. Funny how that works, although the Highlanders have picked up a couple of standings points by way of getting to overtime. Plinta off the post with that shot. Left. There's Austin Landowski. Anthony Herman is the backup, but he hasn't seen any action yet this year. He's a freshman. Martin, open shot. No, it's going to be a penalty. Logan Pack. Turned it over. Martin, centering. Maeda for the hat trick. He tried to pass it in. Walker lifted it toward the front. Now Walker again. Open man, Scoobert. And he couldn't get here at Printscape against Ken and Mac. Where else would it be against Ken and Mac? Next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Philip shot. And got another matchup against Cathedral Prep on February the 8th. Plinta fans on the shot. Cathedral Prep in 9th place in the standings right now. And there they go.